Hi everyone, Suzanne Venker. Okay, this one's from Stephen. Hi Suzanne, enjoy your work. I'm single, 40 years old, traditional conservative guy. Question, these days I've been really confused with the feedback from women, especially if they're interested in you. What feedback should I pay attention to and continue pursuing? Should I continue pursuing or move on? Guys have the Brad Pitt rule. If Brad Pitt called her, she's interested and would call back. So if she doesn't respond to you, she's not interested. But it seems to happen a lot. So this question is getting into the problems of modern dating, which are vast. And in the new book that I have coming out later this year, there's going to be, well, there is, I already wrote it, a section called Master These. Remember, this book is going to be written for women specifically, and this person's a male that is emailing. But the chapter is Master These 8 Dating Rules. And the problem that's, of course, the rules are going to be considered very retro, because I tell women not to pursue men and let men be the hunters. I tell them not to have sex for a long time. It's old school, and it works. But the problem that young people are having today, of course, is that women aren't following these rules. And so that's confusing it for the men. So if this woman is not responding to him, if she's let's say she was playing hard to get, he wouldn't know that necessarily, because today women are the pursuers. So they're torn between doing what the culture is telling them to do, which is to be the man in the relationship, so that if they don't do that, the natural response the guy is going to have is, well, I guess she's not interested. But of course, back in the day, it wasn't the woman's job to show her interest. It was the man's job to land her, so to speak, to go after her. And that's part of why things are so confusing today for men like, well, both women and men, but men like this emailer, is we have to get back to very specific dating rules in order to figure out what people are really saying and what they really want. And if they go with the natural order of things, the way it's supposed to be with women and men, that men are the hunters and women are the ones who are hunted, then it's really clear. So that's sort of my message going forth in the next year or two, is that I'm going to be going out with these new dating rules. And in the meantime, I would say to this gentleman that if someone's not responsive, to take that as a sign for sure. Just, you have to kind of read between the lines right now, because things are so messed up. That's really all there is to it. I always encourage a man to go after what he wants and make it clear and known. And if she's not responsive within a reasonable amount of time, then definitely move on to the next one. But again, this is the mess that young people are in today. This is particularly true on college campuses, which of course has a whole other set of complications that people in the working world don't have, because they're younger and they have, it's really very different in college, because, ideally you have your greatest supply of men and women around you, and you have all this activity that comes to your doorstep. And once you leave and go out into the working world, it is much, much harder to find someone. So that's a whole other conversation, but I think college campuses have a lot to learn in terms of how to utilize this time when it comes to dating, love, sex, all of that, in a way that's very different for 20-something folks. But at any rate, so that's my answer for this gentleman, is to give it a good faith effort, and if she's not responsive, just move on to the next one. But it's certainly an indicator that things need to change when it comes to the whole dating world, unquestionably. So that's my response to that. Thanks.